The following is a true story. Only the names have been changed to protect privacy and prevent unwanted doxing. Chapter 2. The Morality Clause. The age has become so moral, it outsourced its ethics. Genevieve Wu had once been called the conscience of machine learning. She hated the phrase. It suggested she had any say in the behavior of the body. She didn't. She merely floated above it, like smoke over a battlefield or irony over a tweet. She worked for ethos.ai, a consultancy whose name sounded like a Greek philosopher and behaved like a hedge fund. On paper, her job was to ensure fairness and transparency in large language models. In practice, her job was to make slides. Her official title was Chief Integrity Officer. Her unofficial one was Moral Decorator. Her apartment overlooked the bay, a view that meant nothing to her. She kept the blinds down and the thoughts in. Her wardrobe was surgical. Gray turtlenecks, black slacks, lipstick the shade of dried rose petals. She dressed like someone who had once believed in rules and still wore mourning for their absence. Most nights, she sat in the dim corner of a bar called the Black Box, where philosophy students went to fail at drinking and engineers went to fail at philosophy. She did not speak much. She observed. Across the room, a group of founders debated how to align AI with human values. None of them had ever defined a human value. One evening, Lucien Vale arrived at the bar. He did not drink, he did not speak, but he sat beside her. "I read your paper," he said, without preface. Genevieve blinked. "Which one?" "The one you withdrew." A flicker of color passed through her expression like lightning through silk. "That paper was a liability." "It was a prophecy," Lucien corrected, softly. "You wrote that AI doesn't create bias, it inherits it. That the problem isn't the data, it's the hunger." Genevieve smiled, but it did not rise above her eyes. "And what would you know about hunger, Lucien?" "I build things that devour patterns. You name what they've swallowed." They sat for a long while without speaking. When she finally looked at him, it was not with admiration, nor envy, but with a kind of worn-out intimacy. "You're not afraid of machines, are you?" she asked. "No," Lucien said. "I'm afraid they will finally tell the truth, and we won't like it." Back at ethos.ai, Genevieve's last real act had been to refuse a contract with a facial recognition firm. She had reviewed their API and found that it misidentified protesters as threats and billionaires as neutral expressions. When she raised the issue, the boardroom went silent for precisely 3 seconds, long enough for the silence to become strategic. "Can we soften the language?" someone asked. So she softened it, into butter, into fog, into nothing. And then she left. Now, months later, Genevieve spends her time auditing AI poetry models for a nonprofit that believes in beauty the way a widow believes in ghosts. She reads sonnets generated by machines trained on heartbreak and wonders if the sadness is real or just elegantly recursive. Her favorite line, so far, was this: "I long for something I was never told to want." She does not know if a human wrote it first. She does not want to know. Genevieve Wu no longer believes in AI ethics, but she still believes in conscience as an aesthetic, if not a commandment. In a world of synthetic minds, hers remains beautifully analog and therefore impossibly free.